born in Shawnee, Oklahoma, but lived and died in Austin, Texas, was one of the greatest shortstops, not in black baseball history, but in baseball history, Willie James Wells. Can you break bread with me? Or El Diablo, as he was known, particularly in Mexico, a five-tool superstar in the Negro Leagues, because he was a power-hitting shortstop. And even though he drew comparisons to another guy who played in St. Louis, who many baseball fans celebrate, and rightfully so, the Wizard, the great Ozzie Smith.
Go crazy, folks, go crazy!
Willie Wells was making those same kinds of acrobatic plays well before we ever knew who the Wizard was, but Willie Wells brought power to that position. A rare commodity for a guy who only stood about 5'7" and weighed less than 170 pounds. And while he didn't have an exceptionally strong throwing arm, he had a quick release and had great hands, great range, and he could just get rid of that ball as fast as anyone has ever done it. That's part of the reason that you would hear the Mexican players tell you, don't hit it to shortstop because El Diablo is over there. Yeah, that was Willie Wells.
Can you break bread with me? Why you switch phone numbers like
Big spot here, bottom of the ninth, down to their final out. Now it's the shortstop, Rusty Nicholson. Hit hard on the ground up the middle. Wells ranging to his left. Got him! And that's the ball game. Willie Wells with an incredible play to preserve the win for St. Louis.
The late, great Buck O'Neil was doing an interview, and a reporter asked him, he said, Mr. O'Neil, how do you hit a great curveball? And Buck's response was, by not missing the fastball. And so Willie Wells, like a lot of ball players, struggled initially with hitting the curveball.
You're out!
But Willie Wells was able to make the adjustment, and whether it was curveballs, fastballs, or any other kind of ball you wanted to throw, Willie Wells seemed to have an answer for virtually everything that the pitchers threw up there. And at age 22 in 1927, Wells homered 23 times to lead the Negro National League. And Wells led St. Louis to their first title in 1928. Willie Wells had emerged as a true offensive star to couple with his great defensive abilities. Willie Wells was a member of the vaunted $1 million infield that included Mule Suttles, Dick Say, and Ray Dandridge. And Willie Wells was known not only as El Diablo, but the Shakespeare of shortstops. It was theater. It was poetry in motion.
Devil Wells up next, looking to bring home the run for the Stars. And a base hit, and they take the lead. Wells digging in again, already with a hit in this one. Now that's smacked to right center. Base hit in to score from third, and they lead by 2. So 2 down. Willie Wells next to bat. That's ripped into the outfield, and that's got extra bases written all over it. Safe at second with a double. Third hit for him this afternoon. Here's Willie Wells to the plate, trying to draw first blood against Bill Foster. The 0-1. Line shot into the gap, should score at least 1. Runner around third. He will score, and they take the lead. And he'll pull into second safely. Willie Wells next to bat.
The home run and stolen base stats with Willie Wells are just crazy, Boog. If you adjust his 8 years in St. Louis to the modern day 162 game season, he'd have averaged a 30-30 season. Nobody in MLB history even has 6 years like that.
Back here at Southside Park, all set for the start of the inning. Willie Wells digs in now.
Inside ball.
Siggy, I'd say Willie's best year was 1930 when he won the Triple Crown. He batted almost 400 during the regular season, hit 2 homers in the championship series to help St. Louis win the title. And there's 1 down. So a man at first. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Willie Wells. Lifted in the air, left field, pretty well struck. Stretches out and hauls it in. Man at first, stepping in, Willie Wells.
That Triple Crown season Wells had was nuts. He also led the league in hits, runs, doubles, steals, and walks. And each of the league's top 5 homer hitters was in St. Louis's lineup. Man, that's unfair.
Fair ball. Throw comes in. Runner stopped. Second and third. Nobody out. Big chance here in the first for Newark as Willie Wells steps to the dish. That one is absolutely belted. Way back there, it's got a chance. And he makes the play on the warning track. Runners tag up from second and third. 2 outs, runner on first. Willie Wells will hit next. This one in the air, center field. Gibson under it. And that is that. One down. Now it's going to be Willie Wells.
Willie Wells was just dominant in his career. No shortstop in history earned more wins above replacement per game than him. Not Honus Wagner, not Cal Ripken Jr.
Bases loaded for Willie Wells with a chance to be the hero for Newark.
Ball.
In the dirt, but no advance from the runners. All loaded up, dangerous hitter at the plate. That one is absolutely belted. Newman, a long run for this one. Safe at home, ball game. Willie Wells.
Not commonly known is that Willie Wells is the guy who is credited with having invented the batting helmet. The story has it that a notorious spitball pitcher named Bill Bird beamed Willie Wells, hit him in the head, knocked him unconscious. Of course, the medical staff told him that, no, you can't play the next day. You're going to have to sit the game out. Now, you have to understand, this is in the playoffs. And apparently, they did not know how tenacious Willie Wells was. And Willie Wells comes back the next day, and he has a construction helmet kind of taped around his head, and that would become the early advent of the batting helmet. Willie Wells was an absolute student of this game. He was a baseball lifer, and his impact moves well beyond the field because he taught a lot of guys the intricacies of this game, including teaching Jackie Robinson how to turn the double play. When we talk about the likes of Jackie Robinson, Don Newcomb, Monty Irvin, if they were with us, they would all tell you that they owe a great deal of their Major League Baseball success to Willie Wells.
Back outside, riding my whip and Rodeo Drive. Shorty, I step like Fredo, bang, on stay in your lane down 4 or 5.
Runners at the corners here, one away. Hills now at the plate. Sharp grounder deep in the hole. Dive, and he's got it. The flip, Wells fields it to Jackie for one. On to first, double play. Wells and Jackie turn two to end it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Just like my dear friend, the late, great Hall of Famer Monty Irvin, who said he never felt more freer in his entire life than he did when he went to Mexico. Willie Wells found that same freedom, and it was so interesting that you would have to go abroad to be treated the way that you should have been treated at home. You see, in Mexico, Willie Wells wasn't a black baseball player. Willie Wells was just a baseball player. And that's all the players in the Negro Leagues ever wanted to be. Willie Wells had a rare triple feat when he was recognized with induction into the Mexican Baseball Hall of Fame, the Cuban Baseball Hall of Fame, and of course took his rightful place in the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1997. Shortly thereafter, the city of Austin recognized one of his very own heroes by naming a street for him, and most recently named a ballpark for him. The very field that he played high school baseball on has now been renamed Willie Wells Field. The city of St. Louis saw two of the greatest shortstops to ever play this game. One, the acrobatic flair and style of the Wizard, Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith. The other, who played in the Negro Leagues, but brought that same level of flair and the acrobatic style, the great Willie James Wells.
Don't let anybody tell you can't do what you want to do in life. You feel me? You feel me?
Devil Wells coming to the dish, looking to bring home Leon Day and Ray Dandridge here in the first. In the air, right field. Brings it in. Both runners tagging from second and third. And they'll score first. It's 1-0. New inning getting started. Willie Wells next to bat. In the air to left center. Bradley moving under it. And there's one down.
Well, the fans in Mexico loved Willie Wells, and he loved his time there also. He once said, "We're heroes here. In the United States, everything I did was regulated by color. Well, here in Mexico, I am a man."
That's a base hit. Run scores. Throws to second. And he's into second with nobody out. So bases loaded with one away. Willie Wells will hit next. In the air, right field. Gibson has a beat on it, and he makes the catch. Runner tagging from third. He scores on the sac fly. 15-0. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Willie Wells. No question about this one. It's out of here.